Now, the day after I drove this, I did what any normal man would do. Went home, bought a copy of Auto Trader, locked myself in the smallest room for about 3 hours and tried to find one to sell.
Best game in the world.
You got a subscription.
Yeah, did you give yourself a budget? You have to give yourself an imaginary budget. Right, I've got
rather too small as it turned out, but we'll come on to that.
Yeah. Well, how much?
Well, a good one, I thought, you know, 5 or 6 grand. Actually, 5 or 6 grand is the starting price for a half decent one. If you want a really good one, you're looking at 10 or even 11. And for one like this, which is completely mint, who knows?
Yeah, but it is bloke-tastic, and that's second-hand Mazda MX-5 million. I think that's got a lot of stuff. Yeah. All right, then what else have we got this week?
Now, if you went to a BMW showroom, what do you think the chances are that you could pick up a good deal on a 3 Series?
None at all.
None at all, exactly right. Now, Jaguar, on the other hand, this is quite interesting. They have the X-Type, which is the small Jaguar 3 Series rival. Now, Jaguar have sort of rather overdone it with the X-Type. They've got a new factory to build it. They've doubled their capacity, and they're just piling up. In fact, they've even had to shut the factory down for a couple of weeks. There are so many X-Types out there. So, deals. Now, the one I found was the 2.5S. This has got the good suspension, and it's with the manual gearbox, which we like in that car. The list price is $22,200.
Is this a four-wheel or a two-wheel drive?
This is four-wheel drive. This is not that little cheap entry-level one. Yes, it's a four-wheel drive one. That's $22,200 list price, founded in a car supermarket for $18,799. But I'm also very, very confident that if you went in there all guns blazing, you could probably get that for close to 18.
So you're saving about, what,
$4 grand, let's say, $4 grand.
And that's about Mondeo money.
Well, it's just two grand cheaper.
It's the same car.
Well, it is underneath, it is the same car, but this is now £2,000 cheaper than the top Mondeo, the Gear X, but it's got a Jaguar badge.
That's a very good one.
Now let's talk about a sports car. The Vauxhall VX220. Now, there's a new turbo version of this out, and there are a few deals on that. I've seen sort of £1,000 off, but I'm not so interested in that. I want to talk about the original 2.2 16-valve model.
Still a good car.
Fantastic car. What you probably don't know is this is actually built for Vauxhall by Lotus. They got a contract to do it. When Vauxhall set that contract up, they sort of overestimated what the demand for this car would be. But Lotus isn't going to stop building them because they've got a contract, and that's how they make a living, frankly, so Vauxhall have got to sell them more quickly. So there's an official deal on the 2.2 16-valve. Pay the list price, £22,995, and you will get all the options off the list for free. So that's carpets, metallic paint, CD player, leather seats, everything.
Good stuff.
It's good. It's £2,500 worth of stuff, but it doesn't include the removable hardtop, which is actually the thing that you really want. But I did find a dealer who said, okay, I'll throw that in as well. So we've now got, what, £3,700 worth of options for nothing. Better still, I eventually shopped around, I found a dealer, and he just said, I'll give you £4,500 off that car. So that's £18,500 for a VX220, which isn't bad. And to be honest, I've got some carpet you can have in the loft.
You can have it free.
It's beige, but you can have it anyway.
No cost option.
Now on this programme, when it comes to suggesting alternative cars, we're usually very good about money. We don't get cheeky and start pushing you over budget. But just this once, I want to, because this is really special. It's a Vauxhall VX220. It's on a Y plate, but it's an ex-demo. It's basically brand new with under 200 miles on the clock, and it is 18,000, which is, I know, £3 grand over your budget, but it is very special. Whereas the other three cars are lovely little roadsters. This is every inch a proper sports car. In case you don't know already, the VX220 is basically a Lotus Elise underneath, rebodied in what many consider to be a far prettier shape. Its 2.2 litre Vauxhall engine is mounted in the middle, and it is designed to be the closest thing you'll get to a race car on the road. Above all else, it is a proper, no compromises sports car. Well, there's not a lot, but there is some luggage space. I mean, there's room if you're off for a weekend for you and a pair of socks and pants, I suppose. But it's not about this anyway, it's about this bit. The engine is very good at that. Besides, believe it or not, there are actually sports cars out there with less luggage space than this. Incredible. I mean, it's practically an estate car. Thing is, you are going to have to accept that even though you are spending more money, you're going to get less. I mean, there's no stereo, no power-assisted steering, no electric windows, no air conditioning, no very much at all, really. In fact, it's not even easy to clamber into and out of, and it's certainly not a dignified process. But Oh, once you're in, even stationary, it feels exactly right. Pin sharp, a sports car. Get the thing going and it's the real thing. This is not a toy.
Vauxhall. But don't be put off, because this little VX220 here is made in the same factory as the Lotus Elise, by the same people, using basically the same parts. As a result, you might expect it to be the same as the Elise, but it isn't. It's better. Look at the way the Lotus goes through this corner. It's all safe and steady understeer. Now look at the Vauxhall. It's the back that's letting go. So it handles better than the Lotus, and it goes better too. The Elise may now be available with all sorts of tweaked motors, but they're all more expensive than this, and none is quite so powerful. It has a turbocharged 2-litre engine, and that means 200 brake horsepower. And that in turn, because it weighs virtually nothing, means 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. 4 seconds! Nothing! No other mainstream car on earth for this kind of money even gets close. It's still as nimble as you'd hope, but there's a muscularity to the engine that you just don't expect. If I may liken the Elise to a wasp, this is a hornet. It's an epic track day car, but it works well on an everyday basis as well, and it's a convertible, and the word Vauxhall doesn't appear on it anywhere.
Bye, have a great time. Bye, have a great time.